You check your phone. Nothing new. You check it again 4 minutes later. Still nothing. But somewhere, right now, you're sure something is happening without you. That feeling has a name today. Fear of missing out. But the real reason you feel it has almost nothing to do with your phone and everything to do with a rule your ancestors lived and died by 300,000 years before anyone had a screen to check. Your brain did not evolve to handle information. It evolved to handle exclusion. For most of human history, being left out wasn't an inconvenience. It was a death sentence. Your ancestors lived in small bands, and those bands were the only thing standing between them and the cold, the predators, the hunger. There was no surviving alone out there. Not for long. Not ever, really. So when something happened in the group and you weren't there, that wasn't a minor social slight. It was a signal that you were drifting toward the edge of the circle, and the edge of the circle was where people disappeared. This is why missing out feels so disproportionately awful, even now, even over something as small as a group chat you weren't added to. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent years studying the size and structure of human social groups, both ancient and modern. He found something strange. No matter the culture, no matter the era, human beings seem capped at maintaining roughly 150 meaningful relationships. Dunbar linked this number to the size of your brain's neocortex, the part responsible for tracking complex social information. Your brain can only hold so many faces, so many alliances, so many debts and favors before the system overloads. Why does that number matter here? Because in a group that small, every single member's location and status was information you needed. If 2 people disappeared into the trees, you needed to know if they went hunting or if they went somewhere without you on purpose. Your survival depended on knowing where you stood, which is why your brain built a constant background process just for tracking your place in the group. You still carry that process today. It just doesn't know the group is now 8 billion people wide, and most of what it's tracking isn't real exclusion at all. It's a highlight reel. Psychologist Amy Somerville researched something related called counterfactual thinking. Your brain doesn't just process what happened, it automatically generates alternate versions of events, what could have happened, what you could have been part of. Somerville's research showed that these imagined alternatives can feel almost as emotionally real as memories of things that actually occurred. That means when you scroll past a photo of friends at an event you weren't invited to, your brain doesn't just note the fact. It quietly builds a version of the night where you were there, and then it grieves the version that never existed. This is the twist most people never realize. FOMO was never really about the event itself. It's about your ancient tracking system misfiring, generating imaginary exclusion out of a single photograph, the same way it once generated real alarm out of 2 missing bandmates. There's a related discovery that makes this even stranger. Psychologist Mark Leary proposed something called the Sociometer theory, the idea that self-esteem itself isn't really about how you feel about yourself at all. It's a gauge, a built-in measurement of how included you currently are in your social group. When the gauge drops, you don't just feel left out. You feel, on some level, less valuable as a person. Because for your ancestors, social value and physical survival were the exact same thing. So the ping of your phone isn't random. It's your gauge, checking itself over and over the way you'd tap a fuel gauge you didn't quite trust. Here's what makes modern life so uniquely difficult for that gauge. Your ancestors could only miss out on things happening within walking distance. A hunt, a meal, a fire. Now you can miss out on nearly anything happening anywhere, at any hour, forever. The gauge was built for a village. It's now running calculations for the entire connected world, all at once, with no way to turn it off. So what do you actually do with a survival instinct that's technically still working correctly, just aimed at a world it was never built for? You can't delete the instinct, it's not a bug. It's the same wiring that once kept your ancestors bonded tightly enough to survive winters, predators, and each other. But you can change what you feed it. Every time you strengthen a real, specific connection, a genuine conversation, a shared meal, a returned message, you're giving that ancient tracking system exactly what it's asking for. Actual proof that you belong somewhere. Not a feed, not a highlight reel. A real bond it can verify. That's the part almost nobody tells you about FOMO. It isn't cured by seeing more. It's cured by being known by fewer people, more deeply. So the next time you feel that familiar pull to check, to refresh, to see what you might be missing, try noticing what it's actually asking for. It was never asking for information. It was asking to be counted, to be seen as still part of the circle. You will check your phone again tonight. Nothing new. You'll feel that same old pull. But now you'll know what it's really been asking for this whole time. Not to see everything, just to know you still belong somewhere real.